Now that we have the basic antiderivative rules down, I want to talk a little bit more about taking antiderivatives. Let's say we have something that looks like this. How about the antiderivative of x times x squared plus 2x plus 3. Now I can tell you right off the bat, we haven't learned an antiderivative product rule, things that you'd use to multiply, take the antiderivative of things that were multiplied together. And that's because an antiderivative product rule doesn't exist. So I call this video Algebra is Your Friend, because you can go ahead and take the antiderivative of this after you do just a little bit of algebra first. So I'm going to leave the integral sign there. I'm going to leave the dx in there. And let's just go through and multiply. X times x squared is x cubed. I am not doing any calculus here. X times 2x is 2x squared. And x times 3 is 3x. And now we can go ahead and use the antiderivative power rule on this. So the antiderivative of x to the power 3 is 1 over 3 plus 1, x to the 3 plus 1, plus 2 times 1 over, the antiderivative of x squared is going to be 1 over 2 plus 1, x to the 2 plus 1. The antiderivative of 3x to the 1 is going to be 1 over 1 plus 1, x to the 1 plus 1. Plus, of course, your constant. This is where I'm doing my calculus, going from this line to this line. That's where I'm taking antiderivatives. And the first, over here, all I was doing is multiplying this times this. You could have done that before you ever walked into a calculus class. And we can simplify this a little bit. 1/4 x to the 4th plus 2/3 x cubed plus 3/2 x squared plus a constant. Let's take a look at another example. Let's say I give you x squared plus the square root of x, now let's make this a 1, all over x. X squared plus 1 over x. We didn't learn an antiderivative quotient rule because 1 doesn't exist. It's so nice to have these the product rule and quotient rule when we're taking derivatives, but they don't exist for antiderivatives. So again, what we're going to do here is what we did over here. Before we do any calculus, we are just going to do a little bit of algebra to simplify the matter. So I'll do this in 2 steps. So we can write this as 2 separate fractions, x squared over x plus 1 over x. And x squared over x is nothing more than x plus 1 over x. I could write that as x to the minus 1 if I liked. But I'll just leave it as 1 over x. Haven't done any calculus yet, just a little bit of algebra to get this into a form where I can now use the rules that I have to be able to take the antiderivative. The antiderivative of x to the power 1 is 1 over 1 plus 1, 1 over 2, x to the 1 plus 1, x squared. And we know that this is x to the minus 1, 1 over x is x to the minus 1. This is the only power of x where I can't use my antiderivative power rule. But we have a specific antiderivative for 1 over x or x to the minus 1, or however you want to write it. We know that the antiderivative of 1 over x or x to the minus 1 is the natural log of x. And don't forget to put in the plus c. I hope I've made my central point here clear, that algebra is your friend. If you see an antiderivative and you don't know what to do with it, we don't seem to have a rule to be able to take the antiderivative, go ahead, look and see if you can do a little bit of algebra first to massage it into a form where you can easily take the antiderivative.